Way. So what we are going to do in this call is that I wish to create some content for YouTube to promote my business. And in doing so, I realized that I rather have some people that make questions that help me to guide in the creation of this content to see as well if what I'm saying is being comprehended by others. And I'm going to test to do this in a call, and I'll be publishing it on the Mind Valley Connections app. I don't know if people will be coming back. There will be an opportunity here. There will be an opportunity for people to ask me anything about blockchain technology, NFT collectibles, and even selling digital products and the campaign as well that we are doing. Do you, you that are here, do you have interest in blockchain and NFTs? Do you guys have interest in blockchain technology and NFTs?
I don't at all.
You don't? Yeah, that's a challenge that I'm seeing on the Connections app. I don't know if you guys agree with me, but it appears that uh, the calls that I'm in, a lot of people they got into the calls, and it's like it's not clear the goal and the objective and the public. How do you guys feel about that? Do you have any feedback to share? Hello, Joseph. Hello, hello.
Hello.
Hello, Joseph. Do you have an interest in blockchain technology and NFTs?
Yes. I don't
Yes,
know if you can
that's
hear me.
good. Mhm. Hello, hello. Are you there?
Yes, I can hear you.
I mean, hello. There is a member in this call called Hello, but he didn't speak yet. Hmm. So, Joseph, you have an interest in blockchain technology and NFTs. What do you know about it? It's like, do you know something, or is this something completely new for you?
Completely new.
Okay. Mhm. Okay. So let me share something with you here. Hmm. I have a business, and it's called the Sacred Club. And it just became a business. It was a project until very soon. But now that we have products being sold on OpenSea, I believe we can say it's a business. And I'm better testing these programs in the Mind Valley community. Like on the Friday, there are two calls that I'm doing. One is the business optimization call, and the other one is the growth call. And the business optimization is for people to come and make question about the business, like get feedback, get help with their business. And the growth call is a call for us to help people to create a digital environment on Notion. Notion is a tool that exists online. So we can help people create a digital environment on Notion where productivity it's easy. So they can get, this is my own, but people can create whatever they want in Notion. So I have a board to focus on my activity, and I have lots of templates that help me engage in the routines that are important to me with little to no friction, like not no friction, but little friction. I don't need to remember things. I just go there. If I want to do my morning routine, for example, I can come here and I click into creating a new morning routine, and everything is ready for me. Like I can read my definite Shifei life. I can meditate, and the video is already here. It's taking a while now. I don't know why. But I have the 6 phase meditation. I also have Wim Hof here, breathing exercise. I set an intention for the day. I see my schedule. And this, as you could see, is just with one click. So it's very useful to help with productivity. It's like creating a digital place online where productivity is the focus. We build it to focus on productivity. So we build this place to focus on productivity. And I'm beta testing this with the Mindvalley community. But the Sacred Club is a club of people that wish to see some solutions become a reality. And those solutions are focused on the educational industry. I do believe that we can develop the technology to create a parallel reality on the metaverse that reflects our real life growth. Like, let's see Mindvalley, for example. We can we can have a parallel reality. Let's pretend it's a game. It's very easy if we visualize a game. So we can have a game associated with the Mindvalley community. Let's say the Mindvalley creates a game, and it's a fun game, engaging. Everybody likes to spend some time there, but we don't level up into the game. Like, we don't go making quests to get experiences into the game. Let's say that the experience that we get to grow in the game is actually created as we learn into the Mindvalley programs. So we do a Mindvalley program, we do the exercise, we share things with the community. And as we do that, these things, they will get some points to us that will be reflected on the game. And thus we grow in the game. It might be a little weird right now, but if you get into details on how this can work, it makes a lot of sense, because gaming technology has a lot of understanding on how to get people uh, involved with a task and involved with a path, and actually coming back from their distractions to continue into this path, to continue into this adventure. So we can use gaming technology to motivate people into sticking with their growth and actually growing. And blockchain technology and NFTs are making a lot of this possible, because it wasn't, it was much more complicated not long ago, but now it's much easier. So would you guys want me to explain what's the, how does blockchain work and how does NFT collectibles work?
Yes, please.
Okay. So how does blockchain work? I'm going to be very simplistic for us to understand and stick to the important things. The blockchain is actually a log to validate transactions with cryptography. So the way it's built it has some validation. Bitcoin, for example, it's a peer-to-peer validation. So people validate the transactions. The people that build the network, like it's a network, so it's built by a lot of people, a lot of computers, and those computers are validating the transactions using cryptography, and this is called peer-to-peer. There are also other types of validations being tested, like staking. Ethereum is changing from peer-to-peer to staking. And the staking is like you have a computer to validate the transactions, but in order to participate, you need to put some, in the case of Ethereum, some ETH, which is a coin, a cryptocurrency. You need to stake. And what is to stake? It's to it's kind of to lock those resources inside the network, so you don't sell them. They are locked, and for a few number of years, like let's say 2 years. So I get $100,000 and I stake them because I'm believing that the network is gonna grow and the value of the network is going to grow. So I lock those resources inside the network, and now I have the right to validate. And I believe that the more resources you stake, more validations you do, so more money you make because you are paid for validating these transactions. But what is the thing here? The thing is that by creating this system, we now achieve a lot of goals that are very interesting, because today the monetary system is in the hands of a few number of people, like the banks. We do have a bank, I believe it's BSC Bank, BIS. So this is the Bank of International Settlements. That's the name. This is the organization that basically controls the entire monetary system into the world. This is the bank of the banks. I believe that this is the one. And what happens is that they decide how much money is printed. Let's say that some bank needs a bailout. I believe that this is the organization that decides. And they kind of they give reports, they create reports that orient people, not ordinary people, but the really, really, really wealthy and the other banks, in order to say, what should we do about the future? What do we want from the monetary system? And those people, are not worried about ordinary people. They are actually worried about people that have huge amount of assets and resources. This system is oriented and created for them and by them. And what blockchain technology allows us is to take control from this monetary system, from these entities, from this small number of people. Because now we have a system that is validated. We don't need a bank to say that this transaction actually was done, and then we have that amount of resources in our account. We can do that ourselves. The community, the network can do that ourselves. And in other level, we also can check transactions. Like if I wish to see another person account, their transactions, I would need a warrant, something like that, a judicial order. If I let's say that they are suspected of pulling a rug pull scam or a Ponzi scheme. So how do I check on that? I need to go into court, get a judicial order for the bank, and then the bank will release the transaction history. With blockchain technology, all the transactions are public, and it's not exactly easy for us to check on those transactions, because it's new technology and all that. The interface is not very good, but if you have the skill, you can find who is responsible for doing a rug pull scheme or creating a Ponzi scheme. And that's what's being found. Like we have channels like CoffeeZilla. So this guy here, he does a lot of investigations, and what we can see is that people that are pulling scams on blockchain, because there are a lot of scams, it's a new technology. So we need to understand that as people are not very well educated about the market and how it works, a lot of people will take advantage of that. It's not intrinsic to the technology. It's more a thing of the participants into the environment. But now there is a lot of influence that this guy here, it's one of the people that are doing this. They, as people, are investigating who did those scams, who pulled them out, like what are the wallets involved, who own those wallets, and people are finding out that it's very easy for us to make people accountable for illegal activity into the blockchain, because the blockchain is transparent, and the entire log is available for the public. So this is the things that we get from the blockchain. We validate it, we build it, and we can see it with transparency. So creating like some scheme or stealing, hacking, all those things, it's very hard to get away with it. And as the market matures and the interface of the technology gets better, it will be harder and harder, you know? So it's a better solution than the current banking system. But to wrap this up, it's important to mention as well that the technology doesn't have a good interface yet because it's new technology. So there is a lot of things to be yet developed and facilitated for the public, because it's not very easy to use it yet, but it will become easier and easier, and more people will adopt it. Do you have further questions about blockchain technology, Joseph? Hello, Faz.
Yeah, I just heard the same things that that people are getting, obviously, are getting taken for their money through blockchains, and people opening wallets and receiving and taking money and not getting anything back for what they provided a service or a product.
I didn't quite understand. People are making money.
Well, what I've heard in some of the articles is that there's more, there's members that have been on a blockchain that have invested and not received either product or service that they that they invested in any return from their money.
Oh, okay,
So
I understand. So you're talking about a lot of people that have paid for things related to blockchain technology and didn't receive those things back.
Correct. Because I believe in the
Right?
same thing, that the blockchain technology is way of the future, and we'll be getting out of the monetary dollar currency and going to more cryptocurrency. I just, like you have just mentioned, I believe it's going to be one of those things where obviously technology has to get up and people the level of knowledge to be able to use it without, and that as a universal currency.
Mhm. So I do believe that eventually cryptocurrencies will replace fiat money, which is the dollar, real, things like that. And but blockchain technology is not actually dependent on cryptocurrencies. Like blockchain technology is a chain of transactions that are validated by a network. And we can do a lot of things into blockchain. But it started with cryptocurrency. It started with Bitcoin, proposition for a currency. So, but it's not limited to. Now we can put contracts into the blockchain. They are called smart contracts. So those are programs that are released on the blockchain, and they will do
Inscritos.
what they. Hello, hello. And they will do what they are intended to do, and nobody can stop them. Like, let's say that a contract says that if a piece of art is sold on the secondary market, the creator of that piece of art will receive 10% of the sale value. There's no way he doesn't receive that because it's on the blockchain. You can't alter that contract. You can change it. And there will be more technologies being developed in the future for blockchain. The thing about what you say, that there are a lot of projects that do not deliver on what they are promising, it is true, because it's new technology and there is little to no regulation yet. So we just have a lot of scammers in our society. That's the truth. And it's not about blockchain technology. It's not that blockchain technology is bad or not trustworthy. It is actually very trustworthy because it's transparent. The challenge is that people do go out of the way to con other people, to trick other people. So I can use this new technology to say that I'm going to deliver an amazing solution and get a lot of people involved and create a lot of hype and raise a lot of money, and they just disappear. And as I told in the beginning, this is a reflection of the lack of education on the market participants, because those people that are disappearing, most of the time they are anonymous people. And if I ask you, should you give your money to an anonymous person that is promising something to you? I bet the answer would be no, you know?
Correct.
I see that you unmuted yourself, Joseph. Do you wish to ask something?
Yeah, I had a question about NFTs because I've seen NFTs where digital images were, I mean, in my perception, it's kind of like laundering money. I mean, I see like simple digital pictures that I can make on my computer that are selling for like $1.2 million or so. I mean, some crazy amount of money that, I mean, obviously you can put it into a digital realm and hide that money from I guess anybody.
So here's the thing about NFT collectibles. Let's see. First of all, somebody spoke on the chat. Let me. Hello, Faz. So first of all, when I first started to get to know about NFTs, I also didn't understand why there were some profile pictures selling for $1 million. It didn't make any sense to me. Today
Yeah,
I
I agree.
understand, but in order to understand that, I had to get to know a lot of information that I didn't before. But let's say this. The most famous collections of all, it's Bored Ape Yacht Club. So here's the thing. The first thing we need to know is that the image on the NFT is not the NFT. The NFT is a token. The token is on the blockchain, so there is a validation connected to it. The thing about the NFT is the validation. It's not the image, it's not the description, the properties, anything. It's the validation. It's like a coin that we have that is unique. The image is just an illustration of this token for us to see. And There are a lot of things we can do with this token. We can have properties to it, which gives rarity. And now that is relevant, but it's a lot of information. But the value of these Bored Apes, for example, it's not this image, it's the historical value of the club. The fact that the club achieved the notoriety that it did in such an early moment of NFT technology makes it valuable, makes those NFTs valuable. And new NFTs that will come into the future, they might have a similar proposition, but they'll probably never achieve such a value because they will never be the first NFT collection that hit mainstream, that became popular. So this is a collectible. The value of these NFTs are the collectible. But how we see the NFTs into the future? There is a very nice example that I saw, I believe it was Gary Vaynerchuk share, and it's very interesting to illustrate this. It's like this. Imagine that we have a winery, and this winery today, it sells wine. And if I buy a $20,000, 20,000, uh, a $20,000 bottle of wine, what will happen is that uh, if I don't drink that wine immediately, I'll need to store it into proper conditions. I will also need not to move it. There are a lot of precautions I need to make about it. And if I don't store this wine on the proper way, it will deteriorate, it will lose its value. So if I wish to buy a $20,000 bottle of wine, I'll never buy from another person because it might have been falsified, it might have been stored incorrectly. So I'll always buy from the winery. But with NFT technology, we can change that. Now I can buy, let's say that this Bored Ape represents this bottle of wine. Now I can buy this bottle of wine and I never take it out of the winery. I keep it as a token. And the winery will be responsible for storing this wine in the proper conditions and uh, making its quality sure, making sure of its quality. So now I can be with this token for 5, 10, 15 years. And instead of depreciating in value and losing credibility because it could have been falsified otherwise, it preserves its value because now it is a older wine than it was when I bought it, and it still has the quality, the brand quality of the winery. It still has the certification that it was stored properly. They guaranteed it has the guarantee, the warranty, I believe warranty. It has the warranty of the winery. So let's say that I then 5 years later sell this bottle of wine to another person. I made a profit. I didn't drink the wine. And then this person sells it again and it exchanged hands, let's say 7 times. And 15 years later, the person that owns that token now decides to redeem that token and ask to the winery to send them the bottle of wine. And they have the warranty that the wine is okay, preserved in the right conditions. It didn't move. And the wine changed hands 7 times, but the physical bottle of wine was stored in the same place. It didn't need to worry with transportation, no mailing, nothing like that. It probably didn't break, and if it broke, the winery was responsible for that. So the owner didn't lose anything. It didn't lose the assets because if I have the wine in my house and the bottle of wine breaks, I lost the wine. But if the wine is with the winery and an accident happens there and the bottle breaks, I still have my wine because it has the warranty of the winery. And now the person redeemed that token, they receive their wine, they open the wine, they drink it, and it's in perfect condition. all that through NFT technology. And this will reflect into the housing market. Rolex, for example, you'll not buy a Rolex without an NFT anymore, because today the Rolex that you buy, a second hand, it might be falsified, but if there is an NFT attached to that Rolex, the chances of it being original are pretty solid. So you buy a Rolex with an NFT in the future. Does it make sense, Joseph? Like, what's the utility of the NFT?
Yeah, that makes sense. The question I have is how is it warranted? I mean, if it doesn't go up in value,
How is the
obviously,
warranty?
yeah.
What do you mean?
For example, if I mean, you're saying that it's always going to go up in value, right?
Huh. NFTs are not always going up into value. The example that I made, the wine was going up into value because it became older,
Correct.
and as it has the warranty of the winery, I know that it's 100% bulletproof. That okay, so I have the trust that I have into that commercial entity. So okay, I can trust that these guys are really selling me the wine of this specific time.
Brand. Yeah.
So it's increasing to value because it's getting older.
So in the case of in your example of the NFT, if it, I mean, obviously it can go up in value, it can go down in value.
Yes, the NFT can go up and can go down in value depending on what the NFT is giving. Like the NFT will have an utility. So, for
Okay.
example, let me say here,
I mean, a utility, for example,
let
to go ahead.
you can ask, yes.
No, go ahead. You probably answer it.
Okay. So let me see here. Let's get this tattoo NFT. Like, I'm testing a few products. I'm seeing how I can start my business. Because I'm poor. I'm from Brazil. I don't have capital resources to make the business run. So, but I feel like a brilliant person that is lost here. So I'm doing this beta testing and trying to see what I can do here with this new technology. So this NFT, it's a manifestation circle. It creates something. And in this case, it creates some tattoos. So let's say that you make an offer for $500 into this NFT, and you can get a $500 tattoo. We will choose an artist together. It will probably be a tattoo related to the project. There are some symbolism related to the project. We are creating a history. Like, for example, everything related to sacred geometry, like this symbol in the middle here is the Metatron cube. And all this has a meaning. This card has a meaning. It's for people contributing energy to a ritual of creation. So the Metatron cube is the symbol of creation in our universe. But going to the point of the question, like the first utility of these NFTs that you pay $500, for example, it can be any value, you get a $500 tattoo. So this is an utility. Bruno, is this NFT going to increase in value because now I can sell it? No. You paid for a tattoo, you got a tattoo. And why would you sell this? Doesn't make any sense. But now let's create more utility to this NFT. Let's say that because you were one of our first 100 clients, the tattoo token is limited to 100. Because you were one of our first 100 clients and you help us finance our business, we will, every goal that we reach into our roadmap, separate like a value of the sales that we made and award as a balance for people that own this token to have a new tattoo made. So you paid $500 for your tattoo, and as our business grows, you get more balance to do new tattoo for free because you were one of our first clients. Is this NFT going to increase in value as we add more balance to it?
Yes.
What do you think, Joseph?
Oh, yes.
If it suddenly receives $2,000 of value for you to use as a tattoo, can you sell it for at least $2,000?
Yes.
You see? So the value of the NFT depends on what we are doing with the NFT. The challenge with the NFT market is that people don't usually understand that, and that they think that any NFT that they buy will increase into value. That is not much to be understood, but there is a curve of learning to be undertaken there. And we need to understand that it's necessary to take a look into the project, see what they are doing, see what is the utility for their NFTs, understand who is behind that project. Is this a doxa team, which means that they are people that we know who they are, they have revealed themselves, or is this an anonymous team? Because if this is an anonymous team, it's a pretty big red flag. But and we need to see what's the purpose of those NFTs. What do they give? What will they help us with? If we can create several utilities for the NFTs, and those NFTs, they can indeed value a lot, but the challenge is that not the many of the people that are buying, they do not understand